Welcome back. This is lesson 6.4, transform units. I will be able to correctly transform units using unit analysis and correct unit rates. Alright, vocabulary for this lesson: a conversion factor is a ratio that is equal to each other, that it's equal to 1 when you simplify it, but they're in two different units. Example would be like 1 foot over 12 inches, because 1 foot and 12 inches are equal to each other. Unit analysis is where you multiply fractions or ratios and cancel out units that you don't want for units that you do want. Customary system is the system we use here in the United States. Metric system is when we it's a system that is used around the world. And then a unit rate is for 1 unit. So carefully watch for what unit is desired before solving. Marcel's car can go 30 miles on a gallon of gas. How many miles can it go on 6 quarts of gas? Alright, problem with this, I'm going to use ratios to help me here, but I need to have this in these units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by a conversion factor till I get these 2 units. Then I can use those ratios to help me. So we first have 30 miles for 1 gallon of gas. Problem is I don't want gallons, I want quarts. So we're going to just transform this into from gallons. So remember how we would take our conversion factor. I want gallons up here so they cancel out. And I want to turn it into quarts. So we know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So this is the same as timesing by 1. But we're going to cross cancel gallons and gallons because we don't want that anymore. Also, if we have any numbers we can cross cancel, like 2 goes into 30 and 2 goes into 4. So this would give me 15 up here. And that would give me 2 down here. I don't have anything else, so just transforming the units. 30 miles for 1 gallon is the same as getting 15 miles for 2 quarts of gas. So now that we have it in miles and quarts, I can set up my proportion. So we need miles to equal miles. We don't know the miles, so I'm going to call it M for miles, but 15 miles for 2 quarts of gas. So I need to put the number of quarts down here. Well, we know that we want 6 quarts. So all I'm doing is using equivalent ratios to figure this out. So this one's easy for me to see. To go from 2 to 6, that's just been multiplied by 3. So that means I just have to multiply 15 by 3 to figure out how many miles for 6 quarts of gas. So 15 times 3 is going to give me 45. So Marcel's car can go 45 miles on 6 quarts of gas. Alright, let's check out this next one. A snail crawls at a steady speed of 6 meters per hour. How many minutes does it take to go 2 meters? Okay, right now we're working with meters per hour. So 6 meters, 1 hour. That's the rate we know. Problem is we want it in minutes to go meters. So I want hours gone and I want minutes. So we're going to multiply this by a conversion factor till we get the units we want. I've already got meters, so I want to get rid of hours. So I'm going to do hours up here. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So it's like timesing by 1. Hours are going to cancel out. And it looks to me like I can cross cancel. 6 goes into both 6 and 60. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. 60 divided by 6 is 10. So now that I've done that, this is the same as saying he can go 1 meter. So 1 times 1, we still have meters on top, is equal to 1 times 10 minutes. Or in other words, 1 meter every 10 minutes. Now we have minutes and we have meters. This I'm going to use to set up a proportion to figure out for 2 meters. So 1 meter is equal to 10 minutes. Then I'm trying to see how long it takes to go for 2 meters. So think about your ratios. This we don't know, I'm just going to call it x. So how did we go from 1 meter to 2 meters? Well, that's twice as big, so I'm running times by 2. So here you're either going to multiply or divide, or you can do cross multiplication and figure it out. But this is easy enough to see that 1 times 2 gives me 2. So if I times this by 2, then that's going to give me 20. So to crawl 2 meters. But we had to transform it out of hours to minutes so that we could use this and figure out the amount we wanted. Okay, Alma is placing fence panels that are 28 inches wide. If she is trying to cover a space that is 42 feet long, how many panels will she need? Okay, each panel is 28 inches. So 28 inches for 1 panel. So I'm going to try and change that to feet per panel. So we want to transform from inches to feet. So this is where we're going to times by a conversion factor. I want to cancel out inches, so I want inches on bottom. So I know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. That's like timesing by 1. Cross cancel anything if I can. Well, inches and inches, I want that gone. Now I will have feet when I'm done. Cross cancel anything here to make these simpler. I know that 4 can go into 12 and 28. So I'm going to divide 12 by 4. Gives me 3. Divide 28 by 4, that gives me 7. Multiply across the top, that gives me 7 times 1 foot. So 7 feet equal to 1 times 3, 3 panels. So we just found an equivalent ratio, but we transformed it from inches now into feet. So 7 feet, it takes 3 panels. So knowing that, we want to figure out how far it is to use this ratio to do 42 feet. So I'm going to set up my thing, feet on top, over 3, I'm just going to put P for panels. Well, 42 feet, see how I'm matching these up? And I'm trying to look for the number of panels. I'm just going to call it X panels. Now if you can see an easy relationship, use it. If not, we could do this times this equals this times this and figure it out. But I can see that 7 to get to 42, that's easy. That's a times by 6 relationship. So if that's a times by 6 relationship, I'm going to multiply this one by 6 as well. So we're going to need 6 times the number of panels to make 6 times the number of feet, which means we are going to need 18 panels to cover 42 feet. Alright, this next one is a little bit different. The area of a rectangular rug is 408 square inches. I'm going to draw, if it's something I can draw, I like to do it. A rectangular rug looks something like this. And we know that inside here is 408 square inches. Now remember, square inches is the same as inches times inches. So if this was in inches and this was in inches, we'd multiply it to get 408. If the width of the rug in inches. Well, based on that, we need to have this in inches. So we can convert 2 feet into inches. We're just going to times it by 12. So the length would be 24 inches. Now, why did I have to do that? This is in feet, and this is in square inches. I can't get area by multiplying feet and inches to get square inches. So I had to have inches here. So all I've done is convert this, just like we did up here, This one was simple though, and I just said, okay, this has to be 24 inches. Now think about how you get area. What do you need to do to figure out how many inches the width would be? What is the width of the rug in inches? Well, I'm going to have to do 48 divided by 24 to figure out the width. So 408 divided by 24. 24 goes into 4. No, it doesn't. 24 goes into 40 one time. Minus 24. I have to borrow here. 10 minus 4 is 6. Down to 8. 24 goes into 168. I'm guessing 8 times. 24 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Regroup 3. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 3 is 19. That's too big. Let's try 7. 24 times 7. 7 times 8. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 2 more is 16. There we go. So 70. 7 times 24 minus 168 gives me 0. So that means that the width has to be 17 inches, because inches times inches would give me my square inches for my area. Okay, rate yourself on this concept, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and take a picture and turn it in on Google Classroom.